Listen, I'm pretty sure there are some things that God wants you to move forward on, but you're hesitating. You haven't stepped out in faith because the timing doesn't seem right, or you can't see how all the pieces are going to fit together, or you don't have everything that you think that you need to move forward. But really, if you're honest, you're just scared. You're scared to move forward because there are too many unknowns, and it makes you feel uneasy. So if you've ever felt this way, if you're feeling this way right now, stay tuned, because today we are talking about moving forward in faith. And believe me, it's a game changer. Hey there, extraordinary child of God. I'm SaMonna, and this is the place where I help you transition from where you are to where God wants you to be. If you are on Instagram, be sure to connect with me there. My handle is @SaMonnaBots. Now, today I want to tell you about a simple man who is living a pretty good life. He's married and he lives in a town that he's comfortable in. His family lives close by and he's able to visit and spend time with them anytime he wants to, and he loves it. And most importantly, he's at peace because he has stability. As the head of his house, nothing can make him feel better than knowing that he's providing for his family, that he's provided a home for them in a safe environment where everyone in his household can flourish and be happy. I mean, life is good for this man. Then one day he gets a phone call from his boss, and his boss shares with him some very exciting yet very interesting news, because his boss tells him that he wants to promote him to one of the highest positions in the company. And this is no ordinary job. It's an amazing job, one in which the benefits are outstanding. Now, this man can't help but get excited because the job description alone has blown his mind away. But as the two begin to discuss this new position, some interesting details begin to come out, because his boss informs him that his promotion is effective immediately, which means that he should go home and start packing up his family and his things. And at this point, the man was a little bit confused because he didn't realize that the position would require that he be transferred to a different office. So he asked his boss, "Which office am I being transferred to?" And to this, his boss replied, "Oh, don't worry about that. Just pack up your stuff. I'll give you directions when you need it." This was all very strange, and it even got stranger when they began to discuss the benefits. Because when the man asked when his benefit package would kick in, his boss informed him that they would be effective immediately, but he wouldn't receive the benefits until a later time, a time that was to be determined. And as the man sat there processing all this information, he began to think about how crazy this job offer sounded. There were too many issues, too many unknowns. First off was the fact that he would have to move and leave his home and family that he loved so dearly. Second, not only would he have to move, but he had no idea where the job was going to relocate him. And third, all those benefits his boss talked about giving him, he had no idea when he would receive them, because they were to be distributed at some future date that his boss would determine. This was all too strange and reeked of instability and uncertainty, which are two things this man didn't like. I mean, how crazy would he sound to his wife when he told her about this new job offer? What would his family or the people in his community think? But no sooner had these thoughts begin to flood his mind when a more powerful counter thought came up. And that thought reminded him that he could trust his boss. So despite all the unknowns and all the seeming uncertainties, Abraham accepted his new position and moved forward in faith. He didn't worry about what he couldn't see, what he couldn't figure out, or what he couldn't imagine. He just obeyed God and moved forward in faith, believing that God would bless him. And the fact is, God did bless him. Abraham is famous. He's known throughout the entire world as the father of faith and the father of the great nation of Israel, both physical and spiritual. And this couldn't have happened if he hadn't decided to simply trust God and move forward in the midst of all the unknowns and all the uncertainties. And you can find out more about his story by reading Genesis chapter 12. Now, the fact is, most things God calls you to do don't come with detailed instructions of what your next steps will be. It doesn't come with detailed plans or anticipated outcomes along your journey. Nope, it just doesn't work that way. Yes, there's an outlined plan filled with your next steps and your future outcomes, but that plan is hidden from you and only available to God. You see, God doesn't want you focusing too much on what's up ahead. Instead, he wants you to fully trust him and take the step forward that he's asked you to take in faith. Now, I get it. Not knowing what's up next doesn't feel good. But you want to know what really doesn't feel good? Allowing the fear of the unknown to paralyze you and keep you from moving forward, causing you to miss out on God's best for your life. That doesn't feel good. And imagine how different Abraham's story would have been if he succumbed to the temptation to not move forward because he couldn't see what was coming up next. God has a special plan for your life. It may be that he's given you an amazing idea that he wants you to move forward on. Or maybe he's asking you to leave your job to pursue something that's more in line with your gifts. Or maybe he's pushing you to start that business, pursue that ministry, or even leave that relationship. Whatever it is God is placing on your heart to do, don't hesitate. In faith, move forward. Now, if you're struggling with the pains of life and you're finding it a little hard to trust God, I want you to check out this video right here. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you extraordinary child of God. God bless.